Stop yourself, won't you? Stop yourself before you drown us all in the mess you've made. Stop yourself, won't you? Stop yourself before you drown us all and burn it all away. She waits for a place too late, for a place too late. He cries. He waits for his prize. He waits for his wife. Stop yourself, won't you? Stop yourself before you drown us all in the mess you've made. Stop yourself, won't you? Stop yourself before you drown us all and burn it all away.
I suppose we're helping young musicians develop on their musical journey, you know. Even introducing them to a community of young musicians.
Although they have an awful lot of fun, they do take it seriously as well, because the way that it's set up and organised, I mean, they're monitored and supervised, but at the same time they have to organise themselves and motivate each other to get in and to come to band practice and that kind of thing. So I think that's really good. One thing that was lovely about the showcase which they had recently was that you could really see that each band was definitely behind each other. They were all rooting for each other and, you know, clapping for each other and just loving it.
Music Generation was initially seed funded by U2 and the Ireland funds, and now it's also funded by the Department of Education and Skills as well, and then it's run by local music education partnerships. And around the country that varies, but in our case it would be the Mayo, Sligo, Leitrim Education and Training Board that's our lead partner. And of course the Ballina Arts Centre is our main partner here for the core.
Ballina Arts Centre is located right here beside the River Moy in Ballina. The building has many facilities as well as gallery spaces. We have a 220-seat auditorium, a dance studio, printmaking studio, visual art library, art workshop spaces, offices and storage, and a project like the core can really avail of that as well.
We've had everything come through the doors over the last few years. It's been crazy, from rock bands, heavy rock bands, to real mellow singer-songwriters. We've had rappers, electronic music producers, and we've even had kids who are more interested in the behind the scenes, like the sound production.
We started working with Music Generation about 5 or 6 years ago through workshops, like we did drumming workshops, and if they had opportunities for students to become involved in things, they'd let us know. And more so the last 2 years when Philip took over there in the Arts Centre. So we've had a stronger link with them in the last couple of years.
The core has really been beneficial to them in the sense that when they come back here to their music class, I can see that they have a better understanding, of the recording process, and also, how to perform in front of an audience. And you can really see that their confidence, has improved as well. And also, they're much more excited, about music making, and music producing and so on.
I'd find that it's been incredibly helpful. You get to learn not only the theoretical side of music like you would in music class, but also the performance, the production, the things that maybe you wouldn't learn in school.
Well, we first met Philip when we were recording for Orphan Girl. It was really interesting to watch how he, knew which things to turn and
we just learned a lot about recording and how he mixes the tapes and stuff. It took a few goes to get the sound right, and just, you know, we went over it a few times to fix over mics and stuff, but we were really happy with how it turned out in the end, and it was cool to see how he like layered the sounds.
Fit for any man to know, and I will be some good man's wife if there I'd settle down and find myself.
Junior certs have to do a practical exam, which is 25% of their overall exam, and leaving certs have to do a practical, which is 50% of their overall exam. And I notice a huge, the confidence with a lot of our students that have been involved with the corps, that are used to getting up between open mic nights. They're, you know, because it can be intimidating for some people playing in front of an examiner if they're not used to it. So definitely the corps has helped students bring on their confidence and their ability to perform comfortably. Like the crowds that have done the songwriting with Philip the last 2 years in a row, like it was just unbelievable to see them perform their songs, especially that the ones that they've written with him.
My name is Jack, and I did the module last year with the corps. That was it. Well, it taught us about songwriting and things like that, and also made it easier to perform in front of people.
Well, I learned a bit on keyboard, and we were taught some songwriting skills and some recording skills as well.
Yeah, I learned a few skills as well. Songwriting would be probably the main one, and I suppose recording as well.
Certainly now over the last couple of years, the students themselves are looking for more, you know, kind of ways to kind of express their music. They certainly want to get to know more, you know, kind of about the production industry, you know, and songwriting, you know, and how to make a good song, you know, and how to produce, you know, their instrumental music and so on. And that's becoming more, you know, kind of a part to, you know, of the course as well. You know, like with the new junior cert syllabus coming in, there's a lot more emphasis on composing and, you know, and what's involved, you know, kind of in writing a song and the whole, you know, kind of music industry. In this sense, and again, a lot of the emphasis is on production and, you know, and composing, you know, and creativity. So certainly the corps have got all those, you know, kind of resources, because particularly, you know, kind of music teachers, we wouldn't, you know, have been, you know, kind of trained in that ourselves in our own training in college. So certainly, you know, for teachers, we need that help too, you know, and resource and backup and skills for us to be able to pass that on too. So it's a real, you know, kind of collaboration effort between us and the corps and the students, you know, to help them. Yeah.
So we do school programs like transition years, taking part in collaborative music making programs over, say, a 12-week period, or sometimes throughout the whole year. And throughout that program as well, there'd be a collaborative element where they would work together to create an original piece of work themselves, like their own song, which, you know, would start from concept to finished product, and they'd produce it and record it themselves, even in some cases perform it in this room here to an appreciative audience.
We come in here essentially first and we sit around this table, talk about what we're going to do for today.
At the start we were two separate groups and we were making two different songs, and we ended up coming together to make one song.
So after we decided to drop all the other songs, we kind of all came together and we all pitched ideas on what we thought should have happened and where we thought the song was going.
A lot of it's been recording, and that's probably been the funnest part, because I didn't really know anything about that, but now we know a ton.
We started off, we'd write little bits for the song, a few lyrics, and come up with a chord progression for it. We were learning like how you'd set up the mics and sound check, all that kind of stuff, so it sounds good when you're trying to record at home.
Knowing how to use the digital audio workshop is a great help when producing music and all that.
Editing everything together, make sure everything's in time, on beat, fix little things, there could be little glitches in the song, that kind of thing.
I think it's helped. I think not only has it brought kind of all the people in here, we've all kind of gelled together, you know, collaborating, as so to speak, you know.
Yeah,
but,
it's good.
you know, yeah, we're also learning new things, like lots of the equipment in there, how to use it.
The ukulele, that's the thing that should happen last week.
Yeah.
I don't know why not. Yeah.
We have the equipment here, you know, the room is full with all the equipment that helps us kind of better our recordings and all that, so. You know.
I mean, it's sandproofed and everything in there, you see, so
it's good crack, yeah.
Well, it was meant to end in Christmas, but we wanted to keep
we wanted to continue on because
the song wasn't done.
Strolling along this flowing water, you're all alone for the first time. Heart still cold since the day you left me. I can't believe you're not mine. Tell me a reason you had to go with him. At the start you were just friends. What can he give you that I cannot? I thought we'd make it to the end, but I still have faith that you'll come back to me. Keep me from ever feeling lonely. It's a risk that I am willing to take. I hope it's not another dumb mistake. Friends say that you're the worst for me, but I don't really seem to care. They don't know how it is to feel like this, to feel like you're just so bare. La 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 la. But I still have faith that you'll come back to me. Keep me from ever feeling lonely. It's a risk that I am willing to take. I hope it's not another dumb mistake.
So we'd have an annual showcase then that would happen here in the Ballina Arts Centre auditorium, which is a beautiful room, you know, where we showcase and celebrate the members of the corps here, the various bands and singer-songwriters and artists that we have, and that's always fun.
Quickly put your hand up if you're feeling, if you're a bit nervous about tonight. Yeah? Everyone a bit nervous? No reason to be nervous. If you aren't nervous, it means you wouldn't care. You wouldn't care why you're here, so it's fine. You're all putting yourselves out there. It's not easy to do it, and fair play, and just the main thing is just have fun tonight. So, yeah, well done.
As it soared through them, and now it's left me blind. The stars, the moon, they have all been blown out. You left me in the dark.
I'd like to take this moment to thank Philip and the Corps for giving us the equipment and stuff that we need to be able to prepare for tonight, and the Arts Centre here for giving us the opportunity and the venue to play. Don't want to be an American idiot. Don't want a nation under the oh, I've got to live proud. Two riders for the production. And the wind, we got you out.
We're Overdrive and we've been playing for about a year together. We mainly do like
Classic rock. We practice here in the Arts Centre in the core room, and it has like mics and guitars and everything that we need, so it's great. Yeah.
Buddy around me, falling in love. So I sung, yeah, and hated. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think they'd understand when everything's meant to be broken. And I just want you to know who I am.
We also do more kind of low-key, like intimate, relaxed performances like open mics, which is a great way to get started, get your toes wet, and it can be a great confidence builder.
Like you, like you, like you.
My name is Amber Jade MacDonald, and I play the piano, the baron, the guitar, the recorder, the tin whistle, and I can't, and the flute. I think that's it.
I've been singing about 10 years now. Here, you just book a day, book a time, you both show up and have your practice. It's just so much easier.
The choir gives me like my own space to practice my music. Then at home it's more like just to like be quiet, and then here you can just make your own noise and have fun.
So come on, let it go, just let it be. Why don't you be you, and I'll be me.
Yeah, it's good that it has the space that you can just go there and you can just jam with your friends and have fun.
I tried teaching you how to play the drums the other day. That was awful.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Take my hand, we can go walking.
When the course started, I was the only personnel on board really, so I delivered all the tuition at that point. I was teaching the guitar and the drums as well as doing the workshops and so on. So now we have tutors from the Music Generation Mayo panel who come here and deliver lessons as well. So we've got guitar lessons, drum lessons, bass, ukulele, piano, vocals, and it's great.
I've been teaching drums and guitar here since last September, and it's been going brilliantly. I've been really enjoying working with the students, and I just love it. It's a great facility. Kind of both tuition and performance as well. A lot of theory would go into the tuition with regards to lessons, but I try to kind of encourage them to go for the likes of open mics here at the core, and to summer camps as well, where they meet other students and kind of form bands. So when I was learning the guitar and drums, I'm only 23 now, so it wasn't that long ago. But in Mayo, there was no drum teacher or guitar teacher. I think the nearest was like in the Midlands. So the core is absolutely brilliant, just gives a brilliant opportunity for the young talent in Mayo.
And the fifth of the F scale. So play them all together. Then on to the first inversion. Good man. And the second inversion. Okay. I teach piano, guitar, ukulele and bass guitar. I've been gigging professionally in different bands since I was about 22 maybe. I like to try and make things as easy as possible for the students, you know. We'll take things in little baby steps. Yeah, and second inversion. That's it, very good.
It helps me to do my leaving cert, and also when I'm doing piano it ties into some of the music lessons that we're doing in theory as well.
You know, it's very rewarding to see, for example, I have a bass student, and you know, we started day one, I showed him, you know, how to hold the bass and all that stuff, and maybe 6 months later his dad came to pick him up and he walked in the door and this student was playing With or Without You on the bass guitar, and I was playing the guitar part to it. The student was, you know, he looked like so happy, and you know, he didn't even know he was putting the bass on his lap like a lap steel guitar, to now being able to play this song start to finish and to play it with another musician, which was me, and then to see the look on his dad's face, that was fantastic. Music Generation has put its trust in me, and you know, I feel very there's a lot of space to work and do your own thing, and the supervisors at Music Generation, not just saying it now, but they're very encouraging. If there's ever a bit of time between lessons or after lesson, I like to sit down and do a bit of practice myself and kind of soak up the environment.
How easy it is to do the piano here and more comfortable than just doing it at home by myself.
Yeah, the core is 110%, so yeah.
You know, Music Generation Mayo is quite a wealth of musicians from around the county who are on the panel, so sometimes they can come in and do, you know, workshops as well. So it's great to see it growing, and it's not just me here working anymore. It's, you know, it's taken on a life of its own now. You know, throughout the year there'll be lots of different community events and so on that might be happening, and we'd run pop-up, you know, the core pop-up stages. Each year we would collaborate or partner with the Ballina Salmon Festival. So, do you remember what we did at the TY workshop a few months ago, when I got you to get your levels?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do that. The acoustics are really natural here, so we don't need to mic up everything crazy. What we'll do is we'll leave it in the middle at the moment. Jason, can you give me your kick drum, please? Yeah. Just leave a little space, more like boom, boom. Yeah. Normally we have James doing the sound with us, but he's down at the band on the strand. So today we are showcasing members of the core who've been working hard all year, practicing with their bands, and some of them are singer-songwriters, some of them are bands. And we do this once a year in the Jackie Clark Collection Community Garden. So it's a lovely venue, and it's an opportunity for them to play live in front of you know, a mixed audience.
Still look like a movie. You still sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Let me photograph you in this light in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like.
Okay, well, I think the core in Ballina is absolutely fantastic. Our 12-year-old Joanne Gallagher joined the core only in the last 12 months, and I tell you, it has really been a platform for her confidence, because her singing and her performance was always in her bedroom. Now it's shared, because she's been shown how to use equipment that she didn't know how to use before, and she's collaborating with the different camps. The camps that the core have set up, and it has really brought out the talent that we didn't realise was there, and she's just blossoming and meeting other people that are like-minded and have great interests and talent. My gosh, Ballina is full of talent, and it's great that the Killala people can enjoy that too.
Let's hear it one more time for Joanne Gallagher, everybody.
Well, I started playing the bass there just after the showcase, and the band sound a lot better now. It sounds more full than it used to. Yeah, the core brought us all together really, all the members of High Rising Suns.
That you're gonna find some people who live. You ain't gotta worry, 'cause you have no money. The people on the river.
Yeah, I feel like it's great, not just for us, but for all other people. You know, some people might not be, you know, confident enough to go out and put themselves out there and try to get these big gigs. But with the core, you know, it's very chill. You know, it's simple. Most of the equipment's here. Just bring yourself and your instrument and a few other bits, and you're ready to go. You know, small enough crowd. You can invite your family. It's usually free. Sometimes, you know, they pay the bit, but you know, it's well worth the money. I think it's a great thing to have in such a, you know, area like this. If we just keep at it for a while and really kind of commit to it, you know, and then hopefully get a few gigs down the line and just kind of, you know, establish ourselves within the area as, you know, a band that can be booked to do these events, you know.
Yeah, and then tour in America. And that's it.
That's the end game.
Yeah, that's not even me, bro.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, I've been a member of the corps for about 4 months. I really enjoy it. I've met like loads of musicians, like people that are like me. Like, I don't think there's much of a gap. Like, say if you've only been playing for like a few months or whatever, you can still like make music on the same level as someone else if you're playing together and you play. Like, it just depends on kind of what you are playing.
Our first show ever as a band was last year at the Jackie Park. And if you watch the videos, we were all, you know, shy and awkward and we were really like closed in. But we've had a few shows like since then, and every time you just see us like kind of progressing every time, just getting to know each other better really, because that is important, I think, when you're performing and just being comfortable, I guess.
Today was gonna be the day that they're gonna throw back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you got to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out.
The name of the band's Master Plan. We've been playing for 8 months. I knew these two from school, Ken, James, and then I met Leo at one of the core camps that was held during Easter.
If you got color in your cheek.
If we weren't in the corps, we wouldn't have anywhere really to play, because we're not over 18 yet, so it's hard to get gigs in pubs and stuff. But we're hoping to have a few good gigs now, get these few out of the way, and then we're thinking of writing an EP to have for the end of the summer. When you're in the corps as well, when there's people like better than you, kind of want to get up to their level as well, just to kind of push to get as good as other people. So it's good for everything, really.
Crawling back to you, ever thought of going away? You've had a few, 'cause I always.
So today we're at the Band on the Strand here in Lackenstrand in County Mayo. It's probably the biggest teen festival event in the country.
I remember these days, I was trying to pull on the street. I was trying to be on top, I was trying to be making a beat, man. On repeat, yeah. Man, it's MCR, trying to make this shit, man, a history. Trying to go on top and not be a mystery. Man, let's go, blow the beat, ayy. Man, I went to school, haters chatting about me, calling me I'm a fool. Man, f that shit, you too. I'm gonna follow my dreams, you cool. Yeah, flying them jets, I feel like McMill. Man, just pay the bill, cause I'm sick of being poor. Yeah,
Where I work right now, I wish that I could say I'm proud. I'm sorry that I let you down. That I let you down. All these voices in my head get loud. I wish that I could say I'm proud. I'm sorry that I let you down.
Yeah.
That I let you down.
So, it's time to spitting the mic, it's time to spit some bars. Maybe beyond getting rich and be driving Bugatti cars. Yeah, maybe on top like the boss, maybe like Rose. This shit now, bro, let the boss spray.
So I've linked in with Froiga for this event, and they've given us the opportunity to have one of the core bands open up the festival, which is a really, really awesome opportunity for any young band starting out. It was a hard decision to make because we have a lot of talent there at the core. You know, there's one particular band they've been working quite hard over the last year. Harry Loftus and Matthew Collins. They formed their musical kind of collaboration through one of my transition year programs. I was working with St. Muirdex College about 2 years ago, and they started kind of jamming in their own time since, and they've decided to form this band, and for a two-piece band, they sound huge.
Cool, so this is the big stage, and this is where we're going to be playing. We're going to be playing a few funk tunes, bit of Wolfpack, bit of Earth, Wind and Fire, and we're going to be the open act, so can't wait. It's going to get started, get cracking.
Hi, my name is James Hackett. I've been in the corps for about 3 or 4 years now. I do sound for most of the gigs, I play at a few gigs, and yeah, mostly just enjoy my time here. Yeah, I've never worked on a stage this big before, it's a new experience. The Other Voices stage was close, but that was an indoor gig. Outdoor gig is so much different. Yeah, no, it's really exciting, like the opportunity and the people you meet and the crack you have on the stage during sound checks and everything. It's unreal.
Yeah, I'm really excited that they're a part of this, to see them on this big stage, you know. It's just great seeing their journey, starting off doing open mics and smaller, more low-key gigs, and now here they are, you know, on a big stage, working with some real top professionals, and it's a nice day. It's a good day.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It's 2019 Battle of the Strand. Give it up for Clarence and Young. You remember?
We're delighted to have young bands in, because that's where it all starts. All of the big acts that we'll have tonight and we've had down through the years, they all had to start out young, and it's great to see the likes of the Core Music Project getting involved with young people and encouraging them and giving them the opportunity to develop their musical talents. It was very interesting, for example, this year when I was initially looking up some of the bands that we might have on the lineup tonight. Some of them began off with the Music Generation project in other parts of the country and so on. So it's absolutely wonderful to work with Philip Cassidy and the Core Music project in Ballina. Philip and his team were very, very helpful in terms of helping us with the backline and so on. Having watched and observed what's going on in the Core Music project, there's some really talented musicians around Ballina, and it's great for them to have the opportunity to play here tonight. Really, really impressed with the lads Collins and Loftus when they played earlier on. Thought they had a really, really brilliant sound, beautiful vocals, great musicianship, and it all blended in together really, really well. And I think our audience really appreciated them, and for two young lads starting off, they really put on a brilliant performance. It looked really, really professional, really good, so we were really happy with them.
Thank you. I'm Matthew Collins, this is Harry Loftus, and we were Collins and Loftus.
Like it gave me great pleasure I went to a gig in Westport there a while ago, and there was 3 bands playing, and they had all come through the Core, and they put this gig on themselves. You know, some of them are off in college now, some of them are still in school, one of the bands is kind of a mix of both, and they're still hanging in there together, and there's this lovely community. And you can, you know, I was at the gig, I was looking on the stage and looking on the audience as well, and I'm seeing people who, you know, who are members of the corps supporting these people on stage, and they've all, you know, they're all part of a community. It's exciting.
So we formed about just over 3 years ago. We met at a songwriting course organised by Music Generation, and we just had similar interests, all like the same music. We all had a passion, and we just went from there. I think the most important thing about the music scene in Mayo right now, young musicians, is we're all kind of promoting each other, working together. Like as of tonight, we're 3 bands, all from Mayo, organised it ourselves. And
thanks to Emmett over here, our boy wonder.
A lot of stuff is happening like that. We're all kind of working together, sharing each other's posts, promoting each other, and it just really is a sense of community.
After leaving Cert, me and Adam moved up to Dublin to go to college at BIM, studying music and stuff, and we met Charlie. The whole reason me and Adam kind of went to Dublin was because we felt we couldn't go any further than we wanted to in Mayo. Like, there's like a grand total of maybe 1 or 2 venues that would let us play original gigs a lot. You know, like there's a lot of original bands around, a lot of really good original bands, and like a lot of music coming out of Mayo, and there's not many places for them to actually go and play.
As a young person, trying to just, like, first of all trying to get competent playing in a band, but also trying to take the band to another level, not only in Ireland but in Mayo. It's a struggle, you know. You can't be playing in a pub realistically if you're 15, 16, but I think it's a great outlet for young people, and it certainly gave us something to do, and we just love it, like, you know.
The 3 bands playing here tonight all went through the corps in that year that we were there. Like, it kind of shows like it's kind of like built a little scene for like by itself. Do you know what I mean? It's given people like a place to come and rehearse and like find other musicians.
One of the things we do next year in BIM is studio musicianship. So we ended up having a bit of experience kind of recording and stuff in the corps, and then there's the production camp as well. There's like, we do a module on that next year if we want to as well, so that's all kind of like little routes for what we're going to do next year.
Honestly, I think the best asset I have carrying forward is an ability to communicate and work with other musicians. Starting that as early as you can is so important to development.
But I think the corps, it kind of lent us that kind of outlet, but there needs to be a lot more for young people in terms of music.
Well, with the corps I started a year ago, but I started playing in general about 7 years ago, I'd say. I've made a lot of friends from the corps, from the open mic. I met Aaron and Chris, and then we started a band, and then we played a few gigs in the summer, but we went our separate ways because we were all different styles. But then we've always been friends since then, so I've made friends for life. It's been good. I got asked by the choir to sing at the Other Voices pop-up shop. Yeah, that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. One of my biggest influences would probably be Little Green Cars, the band, and I got tickets to Other Voices out of the corps to go to see them and fill up. It was amazing. It was brilliant. I did Song Sparks about 3 or 2. Yeah, and I met Niall Coffey. There's so many of them. Like, I met Niall, Emmett, Dylan, Liam Foodie. I met so many of them through it. Oh my God, it was literally such a great experience. Like, I was always interested in music and I always played, but that was really like, okay, yeah, you're doing music for a living. That's just, it's your passion, you're doing it. And then when the corps came up, I was like, should I join it, should I not? And Mum was like, you know what, that corps looks good, I think you should join that. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna go.
Music has a real special way of bringing people together and bringing the best out in people too.
Definitely I would recommend this, you know, particularly for transition years students. You know, it's a great resource for them because it's definitely a time in their schooling where they can take time out to kind of explore other, you know, kind of aspects of music.
Yeah, if you're thinking about joining the corps, I definitely recommend that you should get involved because it is good and helpful if you're trying to improve your music.
Even if you don't want to join a band or anything, but if you do, it's really handy because there's so many people. Or if you want someone to give you a hand with like a gig or something like that, there's like loads of options, loads of numbers that you can contact and stuff like that.
Definitely recommend the corps to people who want to get started and don't really have the space to do it.
Yeah, well, Music Generation's been around now since around 2011 or so, you know, so we're starting to see alumni, you know. We've had some bands pass through here. They were members of the corps that maybe done a few camps or workshops, or they were using the space to practice and they took part in our open mics or our showcases. And now, you know, I'm following them on Instagram as they play Whelan's in Dublin or the Roisin Dove in Galway, or as they get, you know, a bit of national press on their new single, and I'm just going, wow, this is amazing to see that.
Thanks so much for having us as well. It's honestly the support through everything Music Generation we've done has been really, really great. Like we mentioned earlier, songwriting course we did, that absolutely sparked the core interest of what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, you know. It was really formative, and thanks a million to everyone behind the scenes there. Really appreciate you.
If you're between 12 and 18, you can come here, you can become a member, and that basically entitles you to use the space. Get discounts on all the activities, like from tuition, camps, workshops and so on. The only requirement is that you have an interest in music.
So I found that it's been very helpful.
Charge more for that.
You can find it on YouTube, or you can find it on St Mary's Secondary School site on Facebook. Like and comment. Subscribe.
So the Freuge, sorry, say that again. So Freuge and Freuge.